In this video, we're going to talk about language. Now, we live in San Miguel de Allende, which is a pretty English-friendly community, but even so, you're going to need Spanish in some places, sometimes a little bit, and sometimes a lot. In places like dealing with healthcare, government, or anything dealing with money, you want to make sure that you understand what's going on. So let's talk about it right after this. Running a digital business from anywhere in the world, Expat makes it easy. Build a stunning website, sell your products, and connect with customers all in one place. No coding, no hassle, just possibilities. Expat, your business, your way, anywhere in the world. Sign up today at the link in the description. Welcome back to the 7997 podcast. We are your hosts, Chris and my lovely wife, Jackie.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
And as always, we're just trying to get closer to each other and closer to you guys out there. And part of getting closer to the dream of living in Mexico, or the dream of surviving and existing in Mexico, is learning the language.
And thriving, not necessarily surviving.
Even surviving, sometimes you're going to need to know
Well,
language.
yeah.
But if you want to thrive, for sure, you need more language as well.
Yes.
So we're talking about the situations where you're going to need to know some Spanish, even if you're in a San Miguel de Allende, where we are, or you're in Lake Chapala, where there's tons of English speaking, or maybe Mexico City, certain parts, which has a whole lot of English as well.
That's true.
But you're still going to need some Spanish.
Need to know the native tongue.
So there are some very important parts of your journey and your experience where you're going to need to know how to speak in something other than maybe what you learned as a child and growing up.
Or learned in the restaurants.
You know, Spanish I learned in restaurants is probably not fit for good company.
Hamburguesa is not going to help you at the bank.
Or all the bad words that they teach you first.
Yeah, it's so bad.
I remember in our restaurant we would say papeles whenever a pretty girl came in.
Oh, what is it?
Because it was like, they were immigrants, and if they wanted to stay for a long time to get their papers, papeles, they wanted to marry somebody.
Oh, wow.
So, that's the girl I want to marry. Papeles.
Oh, wow.
So, the ignorant stuff you do in restaurants. So I will say the first situation I want to talk about is dealing with the government. I think even if you speak Spanish naturally, growing up here, live here, a lot of people still use facilitators to deal with government things.
I was going to say that. Third party, use someone to help you, right?
Because it's always changing. It's different no matter where you go. It's a very complicated process. And they don't necessarily make it easy for you in anything you're trying to do with government. So like even when the government changes, if new people come in and people leave, they come in with their own rules and their own regulations. It's not like this office has these regulations and that's it, no matter who works here. If a new regime comes in, like, we just had a regime change not too long ago here with the new president Claudia Sheinbaum. So as she comes in, things are going to change with her. She's going to put in her establishment, her rules, her regulations, her staff. So now you're subject to something new. So having a facilitator who is in touch with all those people, who knows the regulations, who knows who to call when something's not right, is super valuable to everyone, whether you speak English or not.
That's so true.
And you'll find this if you're deciding to move to Mexico and you want to get your residency, your visa, those type of things, that depending on where you go, even in the United States, the consulates are all different. So depending on which one you go to, it may be an easier process, maybe a harder process. You may need to make more money versus less money. Some of them won't take you from outside of the state. So like McAllen, Texas was a pretty popular one that people from all over the country would go to because at the lowest income level to get into. But then for a couple months, McAllen was like, hey, even the people that are locally can't get appointments because so many people are coming from the outside. They put up sort of a temporary regulation that says if you're outside of Texas, you can't come to the McAllen office. So for a while that was shut down. I think it's back open to everybody now. But that just shows you, like, at any moment they can kind of switch up the rules and say what's allowed and what's not allowed. And on a person by person basis, you'll find people that have gone to the same consulate or the same visa,
and they've gotten different information.
They've gotten different information from different people. So having a facilitator who knows the ins and outs, who maybe knows how to grease a palm here or there, who knows the inside people.
Not greasing the palms.
I mean, that's the honesty of it. When we went and got our visas in La Paz, our facilitator, I
don't know if she greased palms, but she at least knew, she had the ins and outs. She knew people because she had worked in those industries.
Well, she did tell us that, like, okay, we needed some stuff rushed. She said, okay, there's a rush fee. To me, the rush fee is like, I need to
Okay.
put this in Miguel's hands so he'll put my paper on the top of the pile.
Not Miguel. Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
I don't ask those type of questions.
Right.
All I know is I'm here legally. My stuff is good to go, and I'm good.
Right.
So like, dealing with government is always going to be some place where you need to make sure that you understand what's going on, because if you do the wrong thing, you can be up and out of here.
That's
very
correct.
quickly.
Get deported, get taken to jail. And I think we should make sure that we have a disclaimer here. It's not just for Mexico.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you're talking about foreign countries, different places, and things, you can have there's like a negative connotation. It's the same at home.
It is.
You know what I mean? If you move like we moved from Baltimore City to Charlotte, North Carolina, the rules were different, and you need to know the rules for the municipalities that are governing your community.
Yeah.
So I think we should make sure we're not talking badly about Mexico.
Yeah.
Just know the rules, and if you don't know the rules, get somebody who does.
Right. We're talking badly about government in general.
Hey! Keep it clear.
I'm certain there's countries out there who have government bureaucracy down packed.
Yeah,
and,
and there are.
sure.
We see more. You got an app for this, and all you got to do is just log on to the app, and you can just renew this and renew. There are many countries who have simplified processes.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend, Odiseo, who lives in the Netherlands, and he's like, if I need anything dealing with the government, I pull out the app and I go find out how to get it done. Do it on the app.
There it is.
So obviously some places have it figured out where,
they are totally in 2050.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the U.S. and not the Mexico, for sure.
Not the Mexico.
The Mexico. I would say also dealing with law enforcement is another arm of the government is something to be careful of.
Yeah. And thank God
at home
we have not.
And here.
We have not.
Obviously there's a differences between at home and here. At home you might end up dead. Here, they're generally just trying to get into your pockets.
Yeah,
they want to get somebody
down.
else, give you a shakedown.
That's what we have heard. We have not experienced it.
Yeah.
But that's what we have heard.
Yeah.
That they'll shake down gringos. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. It's just the status of you know, for gringos. And I want to say even locals as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Like even locals will tell us like, hey, don't trust the police because they're out to get $1.
Yeah. Which is very sad. But thank the Lord we have not experienced
we're fortunate not to have to run into any of that. And I don't think anybody we've known or spoken to has run into it. But I've just gotten a lot of warnings from locals more so than anybody of that type of behavior happening.
Yeah.
So that's something else to look out for. Maybe knowing Spanish in that situation doesn't help anyway.
Right.
Because it's the police. They can do whatever they want to at the end of the day.
Right.
But that's something also to think about. I say something that's important for me here is healthcare. You'll find a lot of doctors here, at least in San Miguel where we've been, are trained in the U.S., so they have some English speaking already.
A lot of them,
So you'll find a lot of that here. Whenever you're talking about your life, your health care, what's going to be good and healthy for you, you want to be able to understand as much as possible.
Yeah, that's right.
So knowing some Spanish in that situation is going to be super helpful. And I think one of the things I would say to watch out for is you think, I want to go to this doctor because they speak English. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best doctor. That just means they speak English.
Say it.
So, take everything with a grain of salt. When you get recommendations for doctors, a lot of times they'll tell you in the Facebook groups, go see so-and-so, they have perfect English. And it's like, that's great.
Right. But
that's helpful. But are they a good doctor?
Right.
They treat you well. They give you the right, path of medicine or whatever they need to kind of give you.
Yeah.
So that's something to kind of think about and be important that, even
that's
if they don't speak English,
babe.
find a doctor who speaks Spanish and they're great. Get somebody to translate to come with you.
Correct.
So that's always important.
Because and that translates to medicines as well.
Yeah.
Because you have to be careful what whatever medications you need, make sure it's translated properly into Spanish and understanding what grams and things that you need, the units that you need. So that is important.
Yeah.
Good
the medicines will have different names here sometimes.
You can't just add an A or switch it out to an O all the time. Sometimes
it works sometimes.
It does work sometimes. But you need to know what that medication translates into because they're derivatives of the same medication.
Right.
So y'all be careful. Yeah, that's really good.
Absolutely.
And can I say one thing on that lines? Because we can go into a pharmacy and a grocery store and purchase medicine off the counter. Be very careful what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right? Make sure you've translated your medication into the proper Spanish word.
Right.
I want to flag that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of medication you can go, which makes it easier. You know, which makes it a lot easier. You can just walk up like, I know I need this for this situation I have. Boom, and you can walk out with it. Just make sure you're getting the right one.
Yeah, and I'll say also ask your pharmacist for alternatives to what you might be getting, because you'll find a lot of stuff can be a whole lot less expensive if you're not
Like
getting the name
generic,
brand. You're just generic. Or
it's a thing.
Because they'll have a couple versions, different versions of generics, not just one generic. So you can kind of find a whole lot of things a lot cheaper. Because there's certain medicines I'll get when I order through Rappi, and I just don't want to feel like going to the store, and it'll be 10 times the price. And I'm like, it's the same medicine. I walk into the actual grocery store and ask for it. They're like, oh yeah, 40 pesos. Like, okay, cool. You know, when you talk about delivery services, they're going to show you the most expensive thing. They're not going to show you the cheapest option. I think another thing to think about here is that healthcare is separated in a lot of ways. So like you might go to your doctor for something, or you need to get x-rays, you go to a specific place for x-rays, you need to get labs, you go to another place for labs, you go get your pharmacy stuff one place. And all those places have varying degrees of English. Some of them may have great English, some have zero.
No English at all. That's true.
So always knowing just enough Spanish to get in there, let them know what you're trying to do, and get it done is always helpful. So maybe even if your doctor's sending you somewhere, you maybe even ask them, how do I say such and such, so when you go in there, you know what to say. Or handy Google Translate is always there.
Google Translate. It's a blessing.
I think the biggest thing.
Did we talk about banks? Did we talk about banks?
Banks, yeah. I'll say banks, money, anything dealing with money, you're going to want to understand what the money is. Even like the one time we went to the pharmacy, and I think you got like a little Gatorade kind of drink or something, and she told you one price and it was a different price on the screen, and you were like, that doesn't seem like the regular price. That's not pay. Let me see the receipt. And then once you print out the receipt, now I'm going to tell you the right price. So
learn numbers.
Yes.
Okay. Learn how to count.
Because it's like it was a pharmacy in a heavy tourist area, so I'm sure there's plenty of people that come through there that don't speak English.
All they do is come in, grab, and go.
So they could say, hey, give me 100 pesos, and maybe what it is 30 pesos, and they'll skim off the top.
We end up being trusting that way.
Right.
Like, okay, you just open up your pocketbook. Okay, take what you need, because I don't know what a peso is. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's a number, guys, right?
Yeah.
So be mindful. It's just a number. You just need to know what the bill looks like. So let's say 100 or 100, right? 100 those. But yeah, she took for granted that I didn't know my numbers. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew 50.
Not only know your numbers, but know what that's supposed to cost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The price you quote me is not the right price.
Like, man, we are wrong zip code.
Wrong.
We are not in America. That Gatorade should not be $3. I knew that.
Yeah. So even talk about money when you're at maybe the open air markets like a Tianguis or a farmer's market or something like that.
Yeah.
There are opportunities to do some haggling.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a carpenter shop, or if you're in a secondhand store or wherever. A lot of places you can kind of negotiate.
Yeah. Even taxis.
Taxis.
I did the other day. He wanted to charge me 100 pesos, which is like $5. And I looked, I was like,
That's not the going rate.
Yeah, I'm like, 80, 90, 80 or 90 pesos. And he was like, okay. And then, So yeah, it's true.
Because they're going to try and make an extra dollar if they can. Like, I get it. You got tourists coming in, they don't know the going rate for taxes. You think I'm a tourist?
Right.
You've been sadly mistaken, sir.
I live here.
I know the going rate. I know y'all just raised the price from 70 to 80.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So those situations are big. I would also say connecting with just locals in general. Your group of friends is going to be much, much smaller if you can't speak Spanish, because majority of people here don't speak English. 20% of the population, give or take, is foreigners, and that's not all English-speaking foreigners. That's
so
Germany,
true.
Chile, all over the world.
Yeah, we've met Russians here.
Yes.
French folks.
Actually, the Russian speaks better Spanish than we do, because she's been here her whole life, even though she's Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she has a Spanish boyfriend that we met driving an Uber one day, which was crazy.
Interesting.
Small
like
world.
A small world.
He's like, let me get my girlfriend's card. She has a coffee shop in your neighborhood. Like, oh, we know Vera. Yeah. Right there. So, just being able to meet people, talk to people, having more Spanish.
It definitely broadens that, right?
Yeah. And I would say, I know I for sure don't have a whole lot of local friends because my Spanish is not that deep.
And he stays in the house a lot.
I'm a homebody.
I'm glad you didn't refute that. I'm so glad you didn't. I just felt like that was about to be a fight.
No, that's just part of who I am. I am a homebody. I like being in the house. If I'm going out, I want to have a purpose that I'm going to enjoy.
Always got to be a purpose.
Not being dragged out to some event.
Like, you want to go out? What we gonna do? Where we gonna go? Who we gonna eat? Where we gonna stay? I mean, just all these questions. Just go. Where the wind
Because you want to go downtown and just walk around and stuff.
That's not true.
Which means spend money.
I want to go meet friends and speak
No.
some Spanishes.
If y'all seen the meme where the husband and the wife walk out the door and all of a sudden they spent $50 on lunch and then $150 shopping and that. And then he like leaves his wife inside and all of a sudden he's not spending money anymore?
Spent zero.
Yeah, zero. That's how it works. So I'm not, just walking around downtown means I'm going to buy my favorite shops. I'm going to get me a little pair of Mexican chucks, or I'm going to get me some jewelry or something.
We happened to pass by a jewelry store.
Yeah.
Are we finished? You want to shut it
You
down?
can see my friends in the background. That's what I spend my money on.
And I spend it on you too. You don't even have to
welcome.
be with me.
So next, what do we do? Local shopping. I say the last thing on the list I'll put is real estate transactions. Whether you're buying a house, which can be a very complicated process we have not gone through yet. But from what I hear, it can be a lot because it can be hard to prove ownership of the house sometimes. So having a good realtor in that transaction is always helpful. Somebody you can trust, who can speak the language, and no contracts in Mexico are legal in English. They have to be in Mexican for them to be legally binding.
They have to be what language?
Spanish.
Mexican is not a language, everyone.
Mexican is a variation of Spanish. It's a dialect. Do you ever speak Southern country? You ever speak AAVE?
That's an accent.
African American Vernacular English? It's a language.
Bang. Mexican is not a language.
It's a dialect of Spanish. Should be in Spanish, okay? My bad for misspeaking.
So the documents need to be in Spanish.
Right, so a lot of times they will provide you documents in English, but those are not the legally binding documents. So you need to be able to look at the English one and the Spanish one and make sure that they are saying the same thing at the end of the day, so that you're not getting taken. You understand what you're getting yourself into, because you might be buying something that somebody actually doesn't own. You might be spending money on it, all of a sudden turn out they don't own the house. Or you might be renting something out and expecting them to do certain things, to take care of things, and they're like, hey, in the lease says I'm not fixing nothing.
Right.
Which is very typical here.
Right.
So you need to be able to speak both languages. And if you can't, have somebody translate it. Use your Google Translate as always. Even right now, we're renting out a new place, and he sent over the contract in English, and even it was kind of some miswording things in English. So I can only imagine what the Spanish version might say once we get that. So you got to kind of look at both of those and make sure that everything is correctly worded, make sure we're protected and safe in the way that we need to be. So yeah, you kind of add all those things up. People always ask, do I need to learn how to speak Spanish? Yes. The easy answer is yes. The simple answer is yes.
Yeah. And the question, why wouldn't you want to?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you want to?
Because it's more work.
And I guess that's what it boils down to.
That's what it boils down to.
We don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
And I get it. But I just want to encourage us, let's do it. Do it. Even if you don't, how do you say, it's not about moving here. I think it's just great just for a community service.
Even if you live in the U.S., it's very valuable to be able to speak Spanish.
Exactly. Yeah. Just to be able to speak to someone else in another language and have that kind of a camaraderie. I've experienced it. I dibble and dabble in about 7 languages. And I'm not fluent in none of them, not even English. But when you roll up on someone, it's like, oh my goodness, someone, you say something in Russian or German or French, and it's just like, oh,
it's a conversation.
It's a conversation starter, and that's it. Because please don't keep going. Don't keep going.
Right.
Like I know I tell people I don't speak French in French, and they're just like, what? So
Je ne parle pas français.
That's it. Nope. Nope. That's it. That's as far as it goes. But yeah, I say, why not? Why not? You know?
And I think people, they see that you're giving them once you have an attempt to learn their language, once you're trying to speak to them in their language, they give you a little bit more grace.
Yeah.
And that just makes everything go a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
And you can see some people getting upset when you're not even trying.
Yeah.
You just kind of you see people speak to someone that obviously doesn't speak English, and they just keep speaking English, and they're like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Right.
I don't speak the language.
Right.
And it's like, okay, when are you going to get it?
Right.
Move on. I can't help whatever you need me to help.
Right. May I use my favorite quote before we end?
What is
Since
your
we're
favorite
ending
quote?
on, the language here, on this piece of it. Nelson Mandela is quoted as saying, if you want to reach a man's head, speak to them in your language. If you want to reach their heart, speak to them in their language.
Yeah.
So it's just more of an intentionality.
Yeah.
And a care that I want to learn a little something about you. May not be to everything, but I'm trying to meet you where you are. And then they're like, oh, people do respect that.
Yeah.
They really, really do. So I just encourage us all to do better, get better, or do different,
Which includes us, because we're still learning.
Yeah, that's why I say all. Collective, all. Yeah, and no chastisement, but I encourage us to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you got some value out of this, if this helps you in your journey to possibly think, did I really need to learn Spanish? Or do I really need to learn Thai? Or do I learn German?
French.
Or Portuguese? If this helps you in any way at all, I hope you will hit the subscribe button. I hope you will like, comment, all those things. We always have the option to buy us a coffee, join the membership, so you can all great behind the scenes videos.
Be a 7997er.
79997er? I think I put 3 nines.
I thought I did too. Y'all know what we're talking about.
Exactly. So as always,
Cuídate.
Arias Garte. Is that the way? Because somebody corrected me if I was the right way to say it. It's supposed to be Cuídate and Arias Garte, I think.
Okay.
I've probably said it wrong.
Okay.
Again, know how to speak Spanish.
Before you get it printed on a t-shirt.
This is called trusting Google Translate, which wasn't really wrong. But I didn't get all my tenses just right.
Oh, help us, Lord. Oh, my gosh.
Arias Garce, take care and take a chance.
Y'all be safe. Be
And we'll
safe.
see you guys next week.
Register to vote.
And vote. Don't
Vote.
just register, actually vote.
Vote.
Peace, y'all. This is the 7997 Podcast, your home for raw and honest conversation, featuring Chris and Jackie, with new episodes every Sunday, wherever you get your podcasts.